We have, oh, you're right. I forgot to tell you to record. Um, so we have Anna Montgomery, we have Sandra Harris, and we have Brady Thomas. I'm going to ask each one of them to give them their own introduction here real briefly, their own little bio briefly, because I just could not get that done in the short amount of time that I've had in the past couple of days. So we'll kick it off with Anna, if you would give us a
Oops.
brief couple sentences.
Hi there. Basically, I started photography. My passion for photography started in 1972 and never stopped studying. And I became a CPP in 2016, still doing it. Got certified as a judge in 2016. Was, what is it called? The VP, Vice President for All Valley, that is no longer existing, and PPOC. And I got a couple of masters, with one with PPA, the craftsman, and one with PPC, the photography. And it's really funny. I've got all these awards: affiliate, state, skip PPA or IPC. Everything I submit tanks, and international. But I got to work out IPC. I don't know why I keep on failing there. That's it.
Okay. Now, Sandra, if you'd give us a couple minutes.
I don't want to give you my whole life history. I've been in photography 65 years. No, maybe 75 now. What's that? Anyway, it's been a long time. Dave was my husband, and we both were past presidents of PPC. In fact, they've got an award now at PPC which has our names on it to give to people. I've been secretary twice for PPC.
Oh.
I've been a director for West Coast School, California Photographic Workshops, and the Bay Area School. I've been around and made my master's like 4 years ago, and I worked really hard to get to that part.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic. And then finally, we have Brady Thomas from Wine Country.
Yes, indeed. Good evening, everybody. My name is Brady Thomas. I've been a professional photographer since 2008, where my husband Ken and I have managed 3 wedding photography brands until I decided to leave weddings in 2007 to start a fine art portraiture brand, Brady Thomas Photography. I opened my dream studio during COVID in 2020. Michelle has taught there. It was a fabulous class. I recommend that the trash bag dress class, just FYI. I'm a member of PPWC and also PPSV. I have my master's from PPA. I was PPWC Photographer of the Year 2021. I'm usually best in category for studio portraits and portrait in general. I have lots of loan and imaging excellence awards at IPC, and I'm working towards my master's at WPPI. Hello.
Yay.
All right, fantastic. So as Michelle briefly mentioned earlier, this is the first competition that matters. And when I say that, what I mean is, in order to get end of year awards in our new format, you must have merited in 4 different competitions and so on and so forth. So this is our 4th competition of the year. This is the first chance that you have to actually strive for end of the year awards. Up until now, it's all been fun and games. Now it's all cutthroat. So, and I can tell based on some of the images that I've seen submitted for this competition. So without any further ado, we're going to launch right into it. Again, we're going to mention the category followed by the title, and then the judges will get to do their thing. Michelle, are you all ready to go?
Yes. Okay. Can you guys see my, well, I know most of you are watching on print comp, have it on Zoom, and I'm screen sharing now so that we can see for the recording. And I will be recording, and we put this on our YouTube channel. So I am ready. Dan, are you ready?
I was until you did that.
Right, me too.
That made it take over my entire screen.
It did, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So hold on a second. I got to figure out how to.
I'm putting them side by side, and
there we go.
Them on miniature. Okay.
There we go. All right. So here we go. So the first image is a nature landscape image. It is called Leaning to the Right.
Stupid.
Image scores is 79.
All right, can you hear me? All right, let's see here. Brady, let's start with you.
Okay. Well, I was right there. I give this image a 78. I think it's definitely above average. I'm really appreciating these nice soft color palette that we find in a lavender field. These gentle lavenders and sage greens, which are very complementary on the color palette. We have nice sharp focus on these little petals of this French lavender. I think that's heading into not being petaled anymore and kind of dry. I'm really enjoying the use of some focus differences here. Nice bokeh moving out to the back. There's some brightness going on in the lower curved stem here of the lavender that's pulling my eye down. So I think that that gentle, it's not blown out, but it's a highlight that pulls my eye down from this nice triplicate of flowers off to the left here. What's really pulling my eye away from enjoying this image and staying in the nice curved cyclical nature of it is the real strong and wide color palette used in this presentation. I appreciate that there is a presentation, but that's a real big color block that is more demanding to my eye than I think it should be. Thanks.
All right, thank you for that. Great feedback, Brady. We're off to a good start. All right, Dan, what's next?
Okay, the next image is an illustrative image, North Atlantic Sunset. Image scores an 82.
All right, congratulations. Okay, let's go to Anna.
Congratulations to the maker. I think this is a beautiful image. I scored it an 83. I wish I could have gone higher. What kept me from going higher into the excellent category was the heavy vignetting on the side. And also it's too dead center. The horizon line for me is it's a little bit too dead centered. Other than that, it's a beautiful image. I love the fact that you have a tiny person right there, so that gives us the magnitude of the beauty of this area. I would recommend toning down the brightness of the dead center, because that it pulls you in. Yes, it's beautiful, but it's also distracting. Again, it's a beautiful image. It's beautiful, and I gave it an 83.
All right, great feedback. Thank you. Beautiful image. All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay, the next image is an illustrative image as well, Christmas in San Diego. The image scores an 80.
All right, congratulations. All right, Sandra, it's your turn.
Well, thank you. I gave it an 81. I like the rich color that it was pulling in from the sunset, and then the blue of the water is just great. I love the color rendition. I would have liked to seen, I thought, a little more detail in the dark pillars. On what I'm looking at now, they're so silhouetted, but I think it needed a little bit more detail there. Also, the presentation is nice. I wish that the little key line was a little bit more to a warm color rather than a cold color. But other than that, really enjoyed it. Be a wonderful image to put up on the wall.
All right, great. Thank you, thank you. Okay, Dan, let's
Okay.
go.
Next image is a photojournalistic image, Sister Maria.
She's got a big foot.
Image scores a 78.
All right, let's see. How about Brady?
Hi, certainly. I was exactly right there at a 78. I think this is an above average image for sure. A great capture of a nun in a pensive mood, doing some journalism of her own or notes. We're not sure what he's doing, but she's deep in thought there, and I appreciate the capture of this serene moment here. I am definitely missing some of the or any details in the blacks there to give me a little bit more of the story of what's behind her. I can see there's a book there. It might be a Bible. I would love to know what else is going on behind her. We've also got some real strong blown out highlights along the edges of her fingers and her book that is pulling our attention away from her face and her hair and her glasses, because our eyes are always drawn to the area of largest contrast, right? So in this image, that's right there at the edges of her book and her hands. And I would there's some distortion going on with a lens that may be a bit wide for how close you were to the subject. It's stretching her foot a bit. And lastly, this image would probably benefit quite a bit from some presentation and a border. Thanks.
Very good, very well articulated. Thank you so much. All right, let's keep going.
Okay, we have another photojournalistic image, looking for a merit photo. Image scores a 79.
All right, Anna, would you please?
First of all, I love black and whites, and this has I scored this image a 79. It's a beautiful image. There are many things that I love about it. The one thing that there are a couple of things that I highly recommend is that the lighting on the gentleman's face and his arms, it's very strong. I guess it's the timing of the day or the direction of his face so that we could see more of his face instead of just the nose, and the brightness of the back of his arm, his shoes, and also his face. Also, I would tone down a little bit your presentation line, your key line. But I mean, the concept, I thought it was great. I love the simplicity of it. And it'd be really nice if you know, it's overall very gray. A little bit more popping of the blacks would be really nice.
All right, all good things to think about. Thank you for that. Okay, Dan.
Okay, and another photojournalism image, Z Matrix at the Whiskey A Go-Go.
That competition?
Yeah,
Did you submit the stuff?
one of mine just went through.
Do you want to see a picture of you being here?
Image scores an 80.
All right, congratulations. Really quick before I ask anybody to critique, I want to try to keep everybody on mute. I feel like I'm playing a video game because I'm keeping myself on mute, and then I got to mute you guys, and I got to unmute me and talk, and I'm like clicking all over the place. So if you guys can keep yourselves muted, that would be helpful. All right, Sandra, let's have you talk about this one, please.
Right. I gave it an 81. I thought it was deserving of a merit. I love the way they've got the light just hitting the hair just right. So they got in an angle they could do that. I think the presentation works well with this. If you'll notice, the key line picks up the color that it wants your eye to go to in the image, which would be the purple. And I love purple, so that always gets me to be happy. Nice slant of the guitar, and everything else seems to come very nicely through it. The face, though, really gets me. I can't be sure if that's his hair going in his face or what. It bothers me a little bit. I think it's the hair. And I just felt it had the feeling of what was happening, and it captured it. The highlights on the shirt might be a little bit heavier or blown out, but it's not too bad. I enjoyed this one. I think it would be a great one to have as a publicity picture. I gave it an 81.
All right, very good. And congratulations to the maker. Very cool. Love all these photojournalism images. I want to go travel with everybody taking all these cool pictures. So very good. All right, Dan, let's keep going.
Okay, the next is a nature landscape category image. This Nevada slot is on fire. Image scores a 78.
Yeah, okay.
All right, 78. And Brady, you're up next.
I'm up. Okay. Well, this is definitely has some impact here for sure, with the leading lines of our trail going dead center through this canyon. I think it might have been a great opportunity for even a little bit more visual interest if it wasn't necessarily dead center. But the presentation is nice. The key line is nicely color balanced with the soft sandstone tones here a little bit. What was the title again, please?
This Nevada slot is on fire.
So this Nevada slot is on fire made me immediately expect to see one of these passageways in this pretty oft photographed series of canyons to be more on fire, to be part of dazzling reds and orange hues that we get not only from the rocks at sunset, but just kind of generally speaking, which leads me to believe it's been toned down quite a bit between the sharp highlights you can see coming down from the top of the image and hitting this edge of the rock shoulder on the bottom right third here was clearly a lot brighter in camera than has been presented, and I'm sure it was screaming bright in there, so it probably would have done the same thing. Unfortunately, what happened here when you brought down quite a bit of the highlights from the top of the canyon, you can see some fringing, some aberration going on the upper rim of the rock's upper center. That is, the highlight's been brought down enough that it has turned kind of muddy all the way from the top edge of that rock, which should be, nice and sharp against the sky, all the way down through the upper third of the canyon, which has just become, frankly, too soft, so that the gradations of our highlights and shadows is softened a bit much for my eye anyway, in the canyon that should be sharp and bright and on fire. Thanks.
All right. Yes, very good comments. I hope the maker is listening. There's a lot of good things you said there. Thank you. All right, let's go to the next one.
All right, the next one's in the illustrative category, Hazy Sunday. Image scores a 77.
All right, Anna, would you speak to this, please?
Yes, first of all, I love the colors. I love sunsets. The joy this young child is having in the water, I'm gonna jump in with him. It's beautiful. I gave this image a 76. The reason being, I don't know if it's on purpose to be, I don't know if it's over sharpened, but I see a lot of grain. Also, there are a lot of kind of distractions, and I don't know if it's just the glow on the water, on the waves. But the other thing is that I know it's very difficult to capture sunsets, and to have just a solid white ball in the sky, this is a missed opportunity, because it could have been such a beautiful image. The colors are amazing, and the message of the child playing in I presume that's a child playing in the water. The key line, I would soften it a little bit. I know it's not a bright white, but it has a gray in there, and I think it did come from the image. And so it's the water line. Also, you also have to be very careful with making sure that the water line does not cut across the neck. You always want the water line to be a little bit lower. So I would recommend to the maker to either be standing up really high, so you've got, you know, a different angle, or you're low so that you don't have the water line cutting across the neck. And I gave this image a 76.
All right, thank you, Anna. Very detailed explanation. We appreciate that. Thank you. Right, Dan.
Next image is a nature landscape image, Enchanted. Image scores an 80.
All right, congratulations. All right, Miss Sandra Harris, come on down.
Yeah, I didn't quite make it up to the 80. I did 79. It's interesting, but I was trying to get the title to make it more of a punch to me. I didn't get the impact from it that I expected. The presentation, I think, would have helped a bit. If the line, even though it's there, I can hardly see it. I would like to see it just a little darker, a little brighter, so that it would catch and pull in that hazy daisy situation of the quite bright section in the center. I wasn't too sure why that would be like that way, but I like the feeling of it, except you've got a dark circle that goes around it, and then it gets lighter again behind. So my eye is drawn first to that lighter area, and then I get drifting off to the left where it's lighter above there. The bottom keeps me in, but again, we've got a difference of color or of lightness with the fuzziness of the, I guess is it waves or is it water? I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. So I got lost in the translation, I guess, but I did give it a 79. I thought it was very nice looking.
All right. right, thank you so much. Oh, I hope our makers are listening. There is all kinds of fantastic feedback tonight. This is a great learning experience. So thank you so much, Sandra. All right, Dan, let's go.
Okay, the next one is an illustrative image, Essence of Rose.
Oh,
Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations to the maker. And Brady, I want to hear your feedback, please.
You do? Okay.
I do, yes.
I was right there. I definitely feel like this image deserves a merit. I gave it an 80. I think it has great impact with leading lines, just wonderful angles to her shoulders, and the light hitting her front of her lips and her red headpiece here, just really great colors that definitely carry impact throughout. It's a nice eye travel all the way from that red headpiece to those lips to the shape of her deep neckline. There is a really nice just to what am I trying to say, a study in triangles, let's say, with some nice movement throughout as well. I would have been happy to go higher. I'm missing some detail behind her head. Her hair just goes into black shadow behind her. There's an odd lighter edge, a bluish edge that doesn't really match the rest of the color on the far edge of her red hair piece up on the upper left corner, and that's strangely pulling my eye a little bit because there's no other light source back there, so it doesn't make sense. And lastly, this little piece of fog that's coming in from the right is really intriguing to me. I either wanted to see less of that or a lot more of that if you're going to make it a part of the element of your story. Then I would recommend to the maker that it have a stronger presence in your image, so we understand why there's fog and smoke there. But I get it. She's a hottie. Well done.
Very good. Thank you so much. Great feedback. Okay, let's see the next one, please.
Okay, the next one is a photojournalism image, Kisses.
Can you repeat the title? Oh,
Kisses.
okay.
Yeah, Dan, you're doing a great job on the titles. I like the voice inflections.
And this is photojournalism.
Yes.
Yes.
Image scores a 79.
All right. Anna, let's have your feedback, please.
I love the kisses. I gave this image a 79. I think it's a very cute story. I know that their editing cannot occur, but what I'm looking at is, although the message is there, I'm looking for a presentation and I don't see it. And there's I guess you could say, yes, the message is there, but something is missing in this picture that I kept me from going higher. And I don't know if some of the other judges can help me out. It's a lovely picture, but it just needs something else to bring it to the next level.
Sandra, do you have anything to add maybe to help Anna out on this one?
always difficult when you're doing something photojournalistic, because what bothered me at the beginning was those pink things in the back that
Yeah.
distracted me. My eye went there. And I don't know if you were doing this photojournalistically, you could have moved her so that didn't show, but just the green, because that just drew my eye right away.
Yeah, and my eye did stay there for a bit, and
Yeah.
also the bra straps, and and so
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. It is cropped so tight, but still, again, when you're looking at photojournalistic type thing, you've got to have it's in the moment, I guess, is what you're
Yeah.
looking at. So
Yeah, and when think about the 12 elements when we go to critique and we think about things, I keep telling all the members, go back to those 12
well, the
elements.
presentation, as she mentioned, isn't as fantastic as it could be. It doesn't help anything. It is definitely storytelling, and the subject matter is interesting.
yeah.
Creativity, I'm not too sure if it would fit in there, but it was, it hits a lot of the points, but it doesn't quite make it. I don't know how to explain that.
That's why I was tongue-tied, yeah, because I'm looking at the competition, the center of interest. I mean, I'm looking at all of those areas. I mean, and it's precious, but there's something that is still lacking in to bring it to the next level.
Right.
I do commend the maker in a great challenge for the maker to see how you can make it more impactful.
Very good. Yes, good conversation. That's so many good things to think about. So thanks both of you for that feedback. All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay, the next image is an illustrative image. Photo booth number 2. Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations. This one, I'm going to refer to Brady on this one.
Okay, I gave this image a 79, and I really waffled back and forth as to whether to put it in the merit category or not. And I could definitely have happily given this an 80 from a 79. I think that the gradations of black and white and grays were really nicely handled. I think it's a really interesting crop that is dynamic with this little kid just kind of walking on up into some people he either knows or not, who are about to make out like bandits, as I understand, with all the stuffed animals, and some cross story going on with the guy in the photo booth over on the right. So I like the movement of it. I like the dynamics of it. And I think the border works just fine. I think this is a great choice in black and white, rather than allowing us to be super distracted by what are probably a bunch of crazy colors going on in the photo booth and people's clothes or not. What I was missing in this image is more involvement in this trio of people on the left-hand side. We're only seeing their backs. We can't see any expressions. We can't see why. Well, I can see the guy's sort of reflection in the mirror there, but I wanted more a more intimate involvement of how excited they are to win all these stuffed animals and their relationship with each other. So I think maybe just another few seconds, either before or after this happened, when at least one of these individuals turned around and were interacting either with us, with this kid, or with each other, would have drawn me more into a powerful story here. Thanks.
All right, thank you for that. Okay, good. All right, let's see, where are we at here, Dan?
All right, next image would be the first in the senior category, Pondering the Horizon.
Really?
Image scores is 79.
All right, Anna, it's your turn.
As I said before, I love sunsets. This is a very lovely image. I can, the title goes well with the image, the way it was taken. I scored this image a 78. The reason being, again, the angle of the photographer in terms of the horizon and how it cuts across the face. And I would have enjoyed more, instead of a full black of the student, of the graduate class of 23, to find an angle where maybe you can see a little bit more of the face, like a profile, so that there's more involvement of the subject with the scenery. But this is what the creator, the maker, chose to do it this way. The color harmony is beautiful. The lighting is very lovely on the young lady. And basically, the sunset, the sun, it's difficult, other than this white, very bright, large spot in the center of the image up above, which I know that's where the sun is coming from. Again, it's very difficult. I shoot a lot of sunsets, so I try to avoid the whiteness of it in something like this. I recommend to the maker to practice that a lot, so that you do get a sun other than just a white blob there. But other than that, it's a very lovely image and great
All right.
presentation. Yeah.
Oh, good. Very good. Yes, we've been trying to really encourage everybody to do a presentation. So thank you for commenting on that.
Mhm.
All right, let's see the next one, please.
Okay, the next is an illustrative image, Left Behind.
Mm.
Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations. And Sandra, let's hear your feedback, please.
I really love the graphics of this. It's very graphically presented. The boy over here on the left with all those windows squared out. I love it. I almost think I just take him to chop or crop from maybe where it says coat check, just that to me, maybe call that solitude, something like that, because I get distracted. I love him, but then my eye comes over to the right where everything is hanging in the coat check area, and it's brighter than him, and it draws my attention back. I like the feeling of this. I actually could probably enter two prints, one with the left and one with the right, but it's, I would have given this a really much higher score if it had just been the gentleman on the left, where he's sitting, the silhouette comes through, you can still see his nose, his profile. He's right in the correct section, I would think, for the square. I just love that picture, but I get distracted by the other side. Presentation is adequate. It's not overdone, not underdone. It's right in there. But I really wish I give it a better score.
All right, so interesting. Oh, I love this. Okay, thanks, Sandra. Let's go to the next one, Dan.
Okay, next image is an illustrative image, turnabout is fair play. Image scores an 82.
All right, congratulations. And Brady, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Certainly. Well, this is just this is just funny storytelling. We love when yeah, the kitty who normally has the upper hand in any household I know is actually been the tables have been turned. This is a really fun studio portrait, and I can only imagine what it took to get this. The blacks are well handled. The lighting is really quite nice. I think you've got on the upper dog here, this his front chest is a little bright, and I would have gone a little bit higher than that. I have this image at 80, by the way, but I really appreciate the wonderful top and backlight you've got on this dog's dark ears to get some rim light on them. And that's I really appreciate how that was handled. I don't see anything except for the far recesses of this cage where the cat has something to say about this as being super black. I think the blacks and the highlights of the lighting here were really quite nicely handled for a studio image. We've got story, obviously some words will be said between these two pets later after this shoot. It just has a really fun storyline. I would have been happy to go higher. I shoot animals a lot, and what we have here is a point of attention and expression on this dog's face that I might have been part of a series taken. I would have loved to seen his face either more at attention slightly off camera, or his attention at us, which is communicative as to the workings that he was responsible for getting Mr. Kitty in the cage, one of the two, but his turn of his nose and his expression on his face is kind of in between the two. So it was kind of mid moment here. And I know how tough it is to shoot animals, especially these two together. It was really nice job, and I hope that you have a couple more frames of this series to pull some expressions out of one or both of these animals that would really nail your gotcha story home. Thanks.
Oh, thanks, Brady. Yes, those dogs and cats get me every time.
Every time.
All right, thank you so much. All right, what are we going to follow that with, Dan?
Okay, the next is another photojournalism image. Ukulele tribute to the ancient one.
Can't hear you.
I'm sorry. The next image is a photojournalism image. Ukulele tribute to the ancient one. Image scores a 79.
All right, let's see. Anna, you're up next, please.
Okay. Congratulations to the maker. This is quite an interesting and beautiful theme. The story, it's touching. It's very touching. I gave this image, as beautiful as it is, a 79. Let me explain why. The timing of the day, I can see that the lighting would be perfect on this gentleman from the tribe where he may be from. And I know that it darkens the underside of that beautiful tree. However, it flattens the rest of the image, like the foliage in the front. It's pretty, the vibrance of the foliage is very flat. It's a beautiful sky, it's a beautiful tree, it's a beautiful subject. It's a wonderful story, but lighting also is very important. The great lighting on him, but the rest is kind of flat, although the tree is just spectacular. I see that it does have a presentation, a very thin line, which is perfect. A lot of sky. I would have possibly cropped a little bit of the sky. And basically that's it. It's pretty sharp also, but the timing of the day, I think, is what really affects me in this particular image, and I scored it a 79.
All right, great feedback. Thank you so much. Good job. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Okay, the next one is a portrait under the Roman arches. Image scores an 82.
All right, congratulations. And let's see, Sandra, let's have you talk to this one.
That's what I gave it at 82. I thought it was very deserving of a merit. It's very delicate. The young lady has got herself on point. She's not totally on the point on her resting foot, but it looks like she's a young gal, probably practicing. The skirt lays out very nicely. She's right in the center of the image, but you've got that sort of S curve where she's curving on back. Your eye comes into her, goes out, comes back, actually up again. The key line is almost there. I think it could be a little bit less bright. It's keying right into her, however. The angle is where she's right between the two back items, the two, I guess that's the, what was the title again, please?
It's under the Roman arches.
Okay, so those, I don't know, they don't look like Roman arches to me, so that's why I was a little confused. But I guess that's the center arch and the other arch over there. I get drawn a bit by the arch over on the left, because then, and not only is it lighter there, but also on the floor, so it's kind of distracting away from her. Yeah, I could see it better if perhaps the photographer had rotated a little bit more, still keeping the line behind her of the light and getting the rest so that arch wasn't as prominent, so dark, so light, because it distracts me a little, it's taking me away. But it's a lovely image, and I'm sure the girl was very pleased with it.
May I make a comment? Are you done, Sandra?
Sure.
Yes, please.
Okay, I scored it an 84. It's absolutely beautiful, everything that you said, Sandra. One other thing that I highly recommend to the maker is be careful with floating eyes. That's the only thing that, well, besides everything that you said, Sandra, the only thing that also stands out to me is make sure, I know it's valet position and there are rules about it, but you don't want floating eyes. And her right eye is out there. And so a little tiny turn towards the camera so that you don't have a floating eye. It's very important, that little piece right here of skin to show.
Right. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, let's see here. That was really good feedback. Let's see who's next, Dan.
Okay, the next one is a nature landscape image, waving on the inside. Image scores an 82.
All right, congratulations. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna have Anna speak to this one, please.
Absolutely beautiful. I commend the maker. I don't know, you probably saw me over here cropping. I gave this image an 83. I love the colors. I love the lines. I love the flowing differences of colors and everything. And based on the title, I think that I would recommend that the maker crop from the top down a little bit and crop in from the left, because you don't, it's superfluous, it's extra, and the image doesn't need it because all the beauty is from the right to almost to the left. And the lines just take me, my eyes just goes around. So I love the story, I love the title, and then of course you get to see the sky at the very end. And composition, that's where I would adjust it. Otherwise, I would have gone higher. But this is absolutely beautiful. And I see that you used the blue as your key line. That kind of bothers me and kind of doesn't. So I don't know if I would have taken a different color from the from the inside the image itself. I see what you're trying to do to really make it pop, but I don't know if that blue really works. But anyways, it's a beautiful, the angles, the lighting, I love it.
All right, thank you. That was good feedback. We appreciate everything you ladies are saying tonight. This is really, really good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Dan, let's have
Okay, the next image is an illustrative image, abandoned. Image scores an 80.
All right, congratulations. And Brady, let's have you take this one, please.
Certainly. I really enjoyed when this image came up in that it was photographed and treated not as a shot of a abandoned broken window in a warehouse, God knows where, but as a graphic. And I think it just works really, really beautifully as an understanding that all these little broken window shapes and the hard cement on the outside of this old window frame and the piece of pipe we can see in through the broken glass here are all less pieces of utilitarian life that they used to be, and now they've just turned into a really, really interesting graphic. There's a lot to look at and a lot to enjoy here, and that's right where I was with this image. I gave it an 80. I think the keyline presentation might have been either a tiny bit brighter or a tiny bit darker or something. The keyline color is a little too close, I think, to the gray of the cement, so that the function of the keyline is to kind of keep my eye in and moving around an image, and the similar tone of this one, my eye is kind of bleeding out a little bit, but the center part of the broken glass and the graphics and the darkness behind it are what kind of saved that to keep me continually wanting to peek in these cool old windows. And I'll just congratulate the maker on seeing this, on walking by and deciding that this is a pretty cool thing to take a pretty cool photograph of, rather than walking on by a broken old warehouse. Nice job.
Yeah, very good. Very creative. Thank you for that. All right. And let's get the next one.
All right, we're on our 20th image of the evening. It is a senior image, refined. Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations. And Sandra, would you speak to this one, please?
Yes, thank you. Yes, I gave it an 81. I thought it was definitely deserving of a merit. I love the way the photographer has combined the color that the woman is wearing, and then the background fits right in with it. It enhances it. It's got a little touch of the same color in the detail around it. The hair is lovely in the lighting. I like the way you can see all of the highlights as it comes out. And it doesn't blend into the background, though the background is similar in color to it. You can still see there's hair and then there's background. The pose got a little seductive look to it, not too much, because if this is a senior portrait, you don't want to go overboard on that. But by having her left arm, the one that we're looking on the right, away from her waist, you can see where her waist is and where the arm is, and you can see there's a difference that's not just blocked in. Might have helped to do the other just a little more so you could see it, though it doesn't need to be, I don't think, that much. The young girl's expression, maybe I'd like to see a little more animation in it. I would have gone a little higher if her skirt or the end of her dress wasn't almost touching the bottom. If there had been another inch or so that she was not touching the presentation. Well, the presentation is well done as well because it keys right into her and to the striations that are on the background. I really enjoyed this image.
All right, very, very good. No, beautiful. Okay, let's see. What do we have next, Dan?
Okay, the next image is an illustrative image, Reaching Beyond. Image scores an 80.
All right, congratulations. Let's see, Anna, you're right there in the middle. Let's hear from you, please.
Who?
From Anna.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear my name. All I heard was
Anna.
in the middle.
Anna
In the
Montgomery,
middle.
take it away.
Okay, I gave this image an 80. I'll be very, very honest. It caught my attention. It's interesting. It's artsy. There's a story there. I wish I could have gone higher, and let me explain why I didn't. Number one, I wish one hand would have been off center of the other instead of straight underneath it. Also cropping at the joints for the maker, never crop at the joints, and the bottom hand is cropped right at the wrist. You don't want to do that. I wish it would have been a little bit higher. It's just that I really wanted to, I almost gave this a 79, I'll tell the truth. Because I think that it's a missed opportunity of being a lot greater. And it's also, you know, deserving of a merit. I think it's fun, very artistic. I love the colors. And it's got the blue on the sides, and it's a play of gels. And so I'm looking at the key line, and it's fuchsia and blue. So I see that the maker was having all kinds of fun. Like I said, separate the hands, don't crop at the wrists, and give me a little bit more, but I think it's a fun piece.
All right, yes, very cool, very creative, good feedback. Thank you, Anna. Okay, let's see, how many more do we have here, Dan?
Well, we're at image number 23 of 50. Do you want to take a break, or are you ready to soldier on a little bit further?
Let's keep going.
Okay.
What do you think? Let's see, let's get to 7:30 and then we'll take a break. How about that?
Okay.
Okay,
Next image is a portrait image Inspired by the swing. Image scores an 80.
All right, congratulations. Way to go. Let's see, Brady, let's have you do this one, please.
Certainly. Well, what a lovely young woman. In a really, really beautiful pose and her toe shoes out there on the swing. It looks like it was a really fun environment to shoot on and set up. Looks like she's having a good time. There's some beautiful lines going on here with her posing. She's got the classic elegant dancer's hands, and I'm really appreciating that there's no big front flats of hands or palms being photographed here. Really careful to photograph these lovely edges of her hands and the length of her arms and her jawline and her neck here. She has a nice angle of her face towards your flash here. And it has a nice movement to it for sure. She's definitely in swing mode here with the swing rather than just sitting there, and I appreciate that. I would been happy to go higher. My eyes are of course drawn to super hot spots along her thighs and her knee that are really pulling my eyes away from her face, which is where I want to be because she seems to be having such a good time. So the highlights are actually handled pretty well. There's a little bit of hot highlights going on in these pretty satin toe shoes, but they're overshadowed by the super bright spots of sun splotches on her skin, as well as some blown out images in the background of the greenery back there. Is just too many hot spots in here where I really, really just want to stay with her face and the lovely time that she's having out in this garden. I think maybe a vignette might have, a really, really gentle, always gentle vignette might have helped keep our eyes in with the subject a little bit more rather than bleeding out with these really strong highlights, especially up in the upper or mid left-hand side of these bright spots in the background of the green here. Lastly, a suggestion to the maker: when we're photographing outside and we've got so much of green going on here, green can be a really overwhelming and distracting color because greens are lots of shades of greens, right? And right into bright yellows that can get into that higher color spectrum that can be really distracting for our brains. So if you're shooting outside in scenes like this, you might try sliding the greens down a little bit in saturation, and oftentimes that will help them not be so commanding to us, and we can stick with the softer color palettes when our subjects are wearing them, and nice soft pink skin as well. What did I give this? I was at a 79. Thanks.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Brady. Well, group, I hope everybody's listening. We're getting some really valuable feedback tonight. So thank you so much. That was really great.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay. Well, it's so pretty. I'm looking, I'm like, I want to swing, and that looks so pretty.
Your toe shoes.
All right. Yeah. Next image, Dan.
Okay, the next one is a photojournalism image, Trapani, Sicily.
Oops.
Image scores a 78.
All right, Sandra, let's go to Cicely. Take
Yeah,
it away.
I've been there. Yeah, I gave it a 79. I wanted to go higher because I like the idea, this lone bicycle out there, and we've got the ocean and everything. But the contrast between the dark area around and then that background is so much. There should be more vividness to it. To if it's Sicily, it's hot right now. If it's July, I always go to Sicily in July. It's always, oh, it's so much hotter now than it ever has been. So, but I'm looking at this and I really would have liked to enjoy that feeling of that bicycle and then the background behind it. And the sky is so blank. There must have been clouds there at one time, and I maybe there is. So I think the photographer has lost something in translation, so to speak. The other thing is there's no presentation on this, which takes away from the feeling of containment. You're getting contained by that arch, but you still need that presentation. We used to do it with frames. You know, we don't do it with frames anymore. Now we put a matting around them to give you that impact. I'd love to get this better. I'd love to see that image darker. I give it a much higher score. But I appreciate the photographer having the creativity to come out with something like that.
Oh, fantastic. We are getting our money's worth tonight. Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate you. All right, we got a few more here.
Okay, the next image is a digital artistry image, The Swimmer.
Oh, wow.
Image scores an 87.
All right, congratulations. And let's see, Anna, you're next on my list. Take it away.
Great job. I'm trying to find flaws and I can't. Good job. I love the composite. I love how you did this. I love it's having been a scuba diver for many years, and I was always envious of the photographers with their underwater cameras to capture above and below, and this is just gorgeous. So I'm drooling over here. I gave it an 88. Congratulations to the maker. I don't know if I should tell you to lower the key line strength a little bit, but I just love the whole thing. The splashing, I feel it, and yeah, how you put it all together. Great job. Okay, what can I critique? I just love it. It's the impact is there, the motion is there, the story is there. Interesting, the clarity, and I don't know, would we need more splashes around the face or something so it isn't so sharp? But I'm really enjoying this picture, this image very, very much. There's a lot of sharpness everywhere, so I think it's a great job. And if you were playing with the baseball to get the splashes, great job.
All right, thank you for that feedback. Excellent. All right, let's go to the next one then.
Okay, the next image is a nature landscape image, Wildflowers. Image scores a 79.
All right, and Brady, let's hear from you, please.
Hey, certainly. Gosh, what a lovely color palette. It's so springy. Um, just I love the wonderful contrast in colors. You've got purple and orange, which is, you know, perfect complementary colors on that color wheel, and our brains like that. So just really interesting crop, and again a choice to turn a landscape image into more kind of a field covering graphic, which is really kind of a cool choice. I think this image could have been helped with two things. One, a very slight vignette, especially around the bottom, because the out of focus bottom third of these flowers are brighter than, except for the tiny little white flowers in the middle, which are nice and soft. This is the bright out of focus part of this image is bottom heavy, not just because it's lighter, but it is out of focus and just kind of creating an eye pull from the center band of sharper images that you have in the middle. So if you, like Anna was doing earlier, you can't see me, but if I'm cropping out most of the bottom third, so I've got a thin band of out of focus. I'm hoping you're all doing this with me. Out of focus flowers on the bottom, then your eye isn't so pulled by that light, bright out of focus spot in the middle. You've still got some soft edges along the bottom edge there, but your eye is more contained to the sharper flowers, which you've chosen to be your subjects in the middle here. Secondly, I would add I can't even tell if you have a key line here. And if so, a complementary color that you've pulled from the image at a thickness that is not distracting, but keeps our eyes contained within the image and traveling around this very graphic, fun summer springy color graphic that you have here with your flowers. Thanks.
All right. Very, very good. Lots to think about. Thanks so much, Brady. All right, Dan. Let's see, it's 7:29. Where are we at? Do we want to take one more?
It's up to you.
What number are we at?
We're on image number 27.
All right, let's do one more and then we'll take a break.
Okay, this image is an illustrative image. Iris. Image scores an 83.
All right, congratulations. And Sandra, we would love to hear your feedback.
Yeah, I gave it an 83. I love this feeling of this flow. I feel like I'm dancing with it, going around, coming down, back up again. We come into the center. The key line, I think, could be just a little bit lighter, but other than that, I like the fact that the presentation is light around it rather than dark. I can't see, I don't think it would have looked well if you used the same lavender purple that was there, but the white just brings it right out. It has a wonderful flow to it. I don't know, the whole thing, as I say, I feel like I'm dancing with it. I go around, I look at it, and it brings me down, and then brings me back up again, and then I can start again and go around. It's just got a beautiful flow to it. And it's the title, just Iris. I didn't know what I was going to see, but I was happy what I was seeing. And I appreciate that the photographer has shared it with us.
All right.
May I have a comment here, Michelle?
Yes, please.
I agree with Sandra. This is just beautiful and just has a wonderful flow. And I just want to congratulate the maker on this choice of crop, on this beautiful backlight, on the monochromatic treatment, on just seeing the windows through the petals of this iris. It's just the choices made here were really, really lovely. I gave this an 82, and I would have been happy to go much higher, but you've got some sensor dust. I see two big ones in particular in the lower left-hand corner here, on the edges of the petals, and they are really distracting. When you have something this simple, the sensor spots against something that should be just effortless and flowing and clean can be super distracting, and they're just so easy to pluck out of there and fix, you guys. Thanks.
Then I'm gonna throw my 2 cents in. I gave it an 85 because it's gorgeous.
It is. It is.
It's great.
Beautiful. Yeah, I was very forgiving of the sensor spots. Gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much, ladies. All right, that was a good one to go out on break. Good job. Oh, this is such great feedback tonight. I hope everyone is really just eating this up because it's really, really good. All right, I am going to put our recording on pause here. If I can figure it out. Okay, I'm gonna cancel the screen share. If I can figure that out. Not popping up. Okay, stop share. There we go. And
Yeah.
I probably will.
No, perfect.
Did it work?
Yeah.
All right. It says I am sharing and recording. So, okay, here we go. What do we have, Dan? Bring it on.
We are on the 27th image of the evening, and it is a senior image, Vintage Daisies.
Could you repeat the title?
Vintage Daisies. Image scores an 82.
All right, let's see here. Let's go to Anna.
Thank you. I scored this image in 82. And I think it's lovely. I'm really enjoying the simplicity of it, the high key. The key line is just perfect. It's a very lovely lady. Very comfortable in that position that many of us later on can't do. I'm looking at the catch light. I'm looking at the positioning of the light and all of the light camera left. And the only one thing is that I wish I would have had a little bit more Rembrandt in her face, the lighting. However, the overall image, there's something very simple, very beautiful about it. And so I love the simplicity of it, and very lovely, congratulations to the maker. Something very simple and looks very beautiful. And I scored it an 82.
All right, thank you, Anna. Good job. All right, let's see. Next one up, Dan.
Okay, the next image is a nature landscape image, Light Chasers. Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations. And let's see, Sandra, take this one for us, please.
No, I didn't see it as an 81. I saw it as a 79. I kept on getting distracted by this heavy darkness on my left. I like the rest of it. And if I cropped it, you know, everybody does this when you're looking at an image and you're trying to see, well, what would do to make it better? If I took off about, up to the light line, I felt it gave me a better feeling for the image because I didn't have to fight with that darkness. Usually it's the lightness that draws you away from something. This was the darkness. I do like the feeling of a different perspective as they look up, but that one dark area just blew me away. It is dark on the right-hand side a little bit, but not as deep as it is on the other. And I'm sure that's how the lighting was, but that distracted me. Presentation is quite nice. It does pull you into what they want to look at. And the idea of this title seems to come through to it is something different. It's just a different view of life. And I just would have liked to have seen it closer up. I would have given it a higher score if it wasn't so dark on that left side.
All right, very interesting and great feedback. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Sorry about that. Next image is an illustrative image after the fires. Image scores an 82.
Good. Congratulations to the maker. And Brady, take this one, please.
Certainly. Boy, after the fires, I don't know how close everyone in this group has been to our array of California fires over the past number of years, but what I really appreciate about this is that it was really nicely handled in terms of tonality. I'm really enjoying the smoky, foggy, ghost-like, serene, awful and serene emotion that we have after a fire has gone through an area. And I'm appreciating the maker's use of these blue tones, which really kind of bring home the aftermath and the ghostliness and the otherworldliness that we have in a post fire scene when things are out. I think the presentation is handled really well. That's a nice color and tonality and size of key line that keeps your eyes just kind of searching around this smoky wooded scene. The capture of the slanted rays coming down through the scene are really nice. My eye keeps going back and forth from the stumps to the lacy shapes of these trees that well, none of these trees really got hit. Possibly the skeletal ones in the front, but the ones on the right side here still have leaves on them. So they have avoided it. They have escaped. I would love to see a little bit more detail in some of the shadows here. It's really heavy in the lower right-hand side, and the trunk of the camera left third is almost completely silhouetted. I would have liked to see a little bit more detail in there. Otherwise, I think the grayscale and the tonality is handled pretty well in the mid to the camera right thirds of this image. I'm really enjoying the emotion of it, really. And again, please watch your camera dust specs. I would have been happy to go higher for something that was treated, fairly carefully. Keep going with treating your images carefully and get rid of these sensor spots. There's two of them that are really distracting on the the tree trunk that has quite a bit of sunlight coming past it, and the camera right third of the image, and then one in the center tree also. A couple of them speckled through there. So remember, just take another pass. If you're going to put your images in for image comp, these will not fly for MIR and IPC. So just do one more pass and just call it dust specks. That's all. Thanks.
Yeah, very good. Good catch. Because yes, you are so right. For merit and review and IPC, dust spots do not fly.
They do
So
not.
very back. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Okay, we're going to remain in the illustrative category. Angels in Rome.
Oops.
Image scores a 78.
All right, Anna, let's hear what you have to say.
This is a very lovely image. I enjoy Rome very much. Great food, great, beautiful place to be. I'm struggling with the title and what I'm seeing, angels, plural. And I don't get to enjoy the second angel, only partially. And so the angle is what is holding me back from going higher. I gave it a 78. I think it's a great attempt. I think that the maker creator could have tried with a different angle. Also, it's cropped a little on the tight side. And also, if you're going to have architecture, buildings in an image, be careful with the angling of them, the tilting, the building behind the back angel. Also, as I said before, I love black and whites. That's what I was raised in the 70s. And it's very monotone, flat a little bit for me, and make the colors pop. The sharpness is, congratulations, great. It's sharp. I love your presentation. And I guess the ceiling, the roof, that circular black area against the sky and above, it's very distracting. So again, I would tell the maker, try different angles, and the title has to go with your image. You're talking about the angels. I'm assuming the second one is an angel. In this case, most likely it is, but all I see is one angel. I hope that helps.
That's good perspective. Thank you. All right, let's keep moving.
All right, we're going to return to the nature landscape category. After the Rain. Image scores a 79.
All right. After the Rain, let's see, Sandra, why don't you speak to this one?
Well, I gave it an 80. I would have given it even higher if it had a presentation to it. Right now, it's an image and it's nice, but a presentation would spotlight it. That's what I feel anyway. And the feeling that it's giving me after the rain, I can see the raindrops have come upon it. It's just, I don't know, it's almost juicy to look at it. I get a feeling from it. And that's why I feel it's got a lot going for it. And I think it could go even higher, as I say, if it had something that spotlighted it. that border around it, bringing you into it. It's so interesting, the whole thought pattern of it. You can see the nice big bubbles over here on the one petal that's up on the right, and then on top you've got all those petals that come down. I really enjoyed the feeling of it, and I thank the Mick for sharing it with us.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I like that. Juicy. That's a good description. Thank you.
Juicy.
All right. Juicy. I like it.
Juicy, yeah. I did have
All
juicy,
right.
okay.
Yeah. All right, Dan, let's see the next one, please.
All right, the next one is a photojournalistic image, summer rainstorm.
Still have the juicy.
Yeah,
We're still juicy, yeah.
it seems to be frozen on me here.
Okay.
I'm starting to salivate.
Yeah, I can't select that image for some reason. There it goes.
Okay.
Title again, please.
Summer rainstorm.
And what was the category again, please?
Photojournalism.
Photojournalism. Okay.
Ah,
Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations. And let's see. Anna, let's hear from you on this one.
you get me on the black and whites because I love them.
Yes.
Yeah, I scored this image an 80. And it's very lovely. And again, I wish I could see a little bit more detail on the right, bottom right. I get the feeling of the storm, but I think it's a little on the flat side, and I know you can dodge and burn to make it pop. So I think, I mean, I would have gone a lot higher with this image because I love the panoramic view. I love the presentation. Good job. Maybe a little bright on the white key line, but overall it's a beautiful image, and it just needs a little bit more tonal contrast. What is it called? Dynamic range of the grays to the blacks so that it pops more. But it's a beautiful image, and congratulations to the maker on a photojournalistic landscape.
All right. Yeah, very good. Thanks, Anna. We know you love those black and whites, so
Yeah, I'm a
appreciate
sucker
your
for them.
All right, Dan, let's bring on the next one.
Okay, the next image is in the senior category, underwater garden fantasy.
Oh.
Image scores an 83.
All right. Let's see. Brady, why don't you take this one?
Well, isn't this drop dead gorgeous? Wow. I heard everyone just kind of sigh when it came up. What a lovely, lovely image. And I don't know, remember who the color purple fan is here,
That's
but you must
me.
be real happy right about now.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, just what a elegant, lovely, beautiful image. There's the gesture of her upward tilted hand towards the surface of your water, there is just could not be more elegantly posed, just beautiful. If like that a tiny little rotation to that wrist would have given us a little bit less of the flat of the hand and a little bit more edge of the finger on someone who's clearly a dancer and can pull some elegant arm and finger lines all day long, clearly. But I think that's a little sniglet. We do have, to Anna's point earlier in the competition, we do have an eye rotated all the way away from us, so you can almost not see her pupil, and it's a full-on profile for sure. But we need to see just a touch more of a subject's iris than almost all sclera there. They look not human. But beautiful throat lines and all that. This pose is just gorgeous. Look at that foot turnout. My eye is really wanting just a little, just tiny bit of a bit of a vignette around the upper, not the top, but the upper sides and the bottom, to keep my eyes on her and not be kind of bleeding out into the edges of this image, which get lighter on the image, later on the edges rather than a little bit darker. And I would expect, if I'm in an underwater fantasy world, that the light is truly just coming down from the surface of the water and on her, hitting her face and her throat and her chest. And not kind of bleeding out through the flowers on the sideline. But that's just a little side comment. Other than that, again, in terms of posing, I would appreciate just a little bit of a bend in this back arm. It's awfully straight, and I just need, if remember, if you can bend it, even just the tiniest bit. And if there's anyone who knows how to bend it just slightly, it's a dancer. Really interesting treatment and lovely work on the flowing of her hair. I absolutely believe that a movement of water has picked up her hair and twisted it in the back like that. The bottom part might be a little taut, maybe a little straight, and you want hair in water to look like hair in water, and remember to add some flow to it. That would make sense. There's some lightness and some sort of patchiness kind of going on. This might have been well, obviously a post treatment, but this blotchy shape kind of on the side of her head under her hair is a little bit distracting. I'd love to just continue to see these beautiful thick waves of her auburn hair here. But oh my gosh, I hope this client has this printed on, let's say, matte metal, huge, in her home, because this is sumptuous and gorgeous, and it's a beautiful job. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Brady, for all that. We appreciate your feedback. Good job. All right, Dan, let's bring on the next one.
Okay, the next image is a senior image, Elegant Maestro.
Freaking wedding gown. What the hell?
Image scores a 79.
All right. Let's see. We had Anna, Brady. I think Sandra's up next.
Right,
Let's take
right.
Sandra.
Yeah, I debated between 79 and 80, but I gave it an 80 because I thought that the person that did this has done a good job of getting this young lady to enjoy what she does. In other words, she's a pianist, and that's part of her senior ability. I like the fact that we're able to see. I always like the fact you can see a waistline. I guess that's in my brain, because when you bring your arms closer to your body, then the waistline disappears and you look mumpy. And I don't like to look mumpy. However, I think she could have been turned even a little bit more, so you got her more at an angle, perhaps more toward the piano rather than away from it. And it would thin them down. I noticed when I did weddings, I would tell my bridesmaids, now turn your body just a little because it makes you look thinner. For the rest of the day, they would follow me around turning their body. So I always thought that was a kind of cool idea. The color harmony just kind of seems off because we've got the warm background and we've got the white piano, the white dress. So it kind of distracts me. And the presentation takes away from it for me as well, because that dark area on the outside might have looked better if it had picked up either I don't think the blue would go good, but the beige of the background wall. And she's darling. I wish she had a little bit more excitement in her face. She looks like, oh, I've got to stand here and they're going to take my picture. And we've got the flat of her hand too, which is something that could be eliminated by twisting her wrist just a bit. But it's still such a nice image, and I'm sure that she liked it. I'm sure the parents liked it. You know, we talk about awards, but there's always the green award, which is money, which comes in really good. So thank you for listening to me, and thank you for sharing with us your image.
Great, Sandra, thank you for that. And yes, you're right. Those green merits are the best ones to get. We love those green ones. So thank you for your feedback. That was great.
And can I make a comment?
Sure.
You know how picky I am about eyes. And be careful with, I know you see that a lot. You see it everywhere, looking away, but then we see too much white of the eyes. And you really want to try to keep the nose with the eyes so that we see, you know, not, she's looking away. So just the eyes, just a little bit more towards this direction, so we don't have, you know, her right eye as a floater. Just a tiny little bit. That's all. Beautiful image.
Very good. Good catch. That's a good feedback. Thank you so much. All right, let's get to the next one.
Okay, the next one is in the children category, levitate.
Oh.
Image scores an 83.
All right, congratulations. And Anna, you're up for this one.
Love it. I love this image. I scored it an 84. There's something about it. The mood, the impact. You know, at first is like, okay, where's the rest of the body? Oh my God, there she is. And the story behind it, the setup, that, you know, the timing to set up all, you know, the lights, the portraits down in there, the chimney, you know, the angle of the moon and the light coming in. The only thing that I might say is the key line to drop it down just a little bit. It's a little bit bright, but it also, you know, contains you in there, and you keep my focus in everything. One thing that I would do in that vase in the back, I don't think it's a vase, but the vase, I would have removed one of that bright dot on the left side, little things like that, so that it doesn't pull my vision in that direction. Other than that, you know, the candles, maybe, you know, tone down a little bit the stem of the candles on the floor, the ones that are on top of the book, the candlesticks. But other than that, the different tonalities and the theme that goes in there and the moodiness, it all goes together, says I. And great job. I like it. I don't know, maybe tone down the hair a little bit. Maybe it's a little too bright on our side, because, you know, think of where the lighting comes in. I can see where the face, you know, where the light, the face is being lit by the moon. But great image. A lot of fun. Wow.
Yeah, fun. Well,
Let me make a comment too, if I can.
Sure. Yeah.
Her shoes that's the part that bothered me the most. Everything else I love, but the shoes looked too bright to me. They took my eye away from her face.
Hmm.
You know, and the way her feet are pointed up, I almost think they should have been almost
Oh.
pointed the other way, pointed tippy
Mm.
toes. You
Uh-huh.
follow it, see, it kind of brings your eye up again. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's really cool.
Yeah, in that position, you would think the feet would drop. Uh-huh.
All right. Well, good attention to detail, ladies. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate you. Very cool. All right, Dan, let's go to the next one.
Okay, back to the nature landscape category. Sunburst through a dragon tree. Image scores a 78.
All right. So let's see. Brady, you're up next.
Okay. Sorry, I was still thinking about the goth girl floating in the last black and white photo. Let's see. This is what an interesting graphic. This dragon tree, was it? Makes as just kind of a thicket shape. Very cool. I really enjoy the juxtaposition of the fan shape of this tree with the shape that the lens makes for this for the sun rays. Here is another interesting choice of a graphic shape. So just visually has quite a lot of impact, and just texturally it's really cool. Immediately right off the bat, this image would have definitely benefited from a presentation to keep your eye in these half circle shapes going on, and radial sun shapes going on in this image that just kind of bleed out with no presentation at all here. And I think it would have benefited too from some added contrast, and adding back in some of the blacks that might have been lost during either sunrise or probably sunset. Here is kind of bleaching things out a little bit, and that would have aided the softness and tonality that you have in these ferny branch shapes of this particular tree. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for all that. Super interesting for sure. Okay. Let's see. What do we have next, Dan?
Okay, the next is a portrait image. You will make it. Image scores an 82.
All right. Congratulations. Let's see. Sandra, you're up on my list next. So
Right.
let's talk about this.
Yeah, I gave it a 79. I wasn't really sure what I was trying to ascertain from this. The image that I'm looking at, as opposed to the image they show as what they started out with. And I'm trying to figure out how they got the dog to look like that. Did they change the dog's head by moving it up or down? I got lost in the translation again. Background, I think they did a nice job with, because the original background was a little bit too close to the color of the dog, and they changed even the clothing of the young lady to more of a bluish tone, blue-green tone, to match that background that they put in. That's a lovely painted background. I've done that before on some that became so much better looking than what I originally took the photograph with. But as I say, I got lost a little bit in here, because as a portrait, I could have just taken it without the beginning situation. but it confused me when I got to what they did. So if someone can help me out on this, I'd appreciate it.
Any of my other judges want to comment?
I took this to be a painted portrait situation, which requires as I understand it, a base image to let us know where they started off. Assuming this is a commission of someone, you know, who's losing a senior dog and has asked for some retouching on this animal to complement him.
Oh, okay. That, you know, that gives me more perspective on it because I wasn't understanding that. And I've taken Michelle Paisley's course, and if I had done this, I would have done a vignette type of a situation where her arm, the edge of her arm is, and the dog's body below. So you weren't getting that dichotomy between the darker part of the dog and the girl's lighter arm. It would have been sort of a faded into the background situation. And I think it would have looked more appropriate for this particular thing. Other than that, now that I know what I'm looking at, I really appreciate the way that the hair has been handled so that you can get the feeling of the highlights in their hair with the brush strokes. I was trying to think that they had changed the dog, and that's what I was looking at to begin with. So I appreciate getting that comment from you. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
All right, very good. Nice feedback. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, next image is a senior image, Midsummer's Afternoon. Image scores a 79.
All right, Anna, let's talk about some Midsummer's Afternoon, please.
First of all, this is a lovely, lovely young lady. Very fun outfit that she has on, and the pose is very gentle. The surrounding, and if you can hear a little bit of struggle in my voice, it's because I really wanted this image to merit. I was struggling. Do I give it an 80, an 81? But I gave it a 79. The reason being, I think the maker can has another opportunity to make some changes to this image so that it will merit, because it's beautiful. I believe that the dress is blown out. It should be toned down. The brightness should come down. There should be a little bit of vignetting on the side. She's dead center, and if you crop her and push her, you know, crop a little bit from the left side where she's not so centered, I think that will give it more opportunity for a higher score. And also I would tone down the brightness of the surrounding greenery, where I stay with her. Although she's like I said, her dress is very bright, her skin is also a little on the bright side. So changing the tonal dynamics, I think, will really enhance this image, and also your composition, because you've got a great image here. So I'm, you know, I hate to say this, I'm glad it did not merit. So you can come back and just make those little changes and you'll do great.
Can I make a comment also?
Yes.
I think, again, I get this idea that you shouldn't be so close to the bottom of the print. They could easily have, when you did that cropping, I agree if you're cropping, because that would get rid of the fact you can't see her right arm totally. But if it came down a little bit on the bottom too, that would place her more dynamically in the image. And the other thing I find distracted me, brought me out of the picture, is the little white petals that are over to the upper right of her. About 3/4 away from her head. That my eye would go to those and then come back to her again.
Right.
Agreed.
All right, you guys, thank you for that. I hope our makers are listening because that's really great feedback. Okay, let's see. What do we have, Dan? How many do we have left, Dan?
All right, we have 10 images left.
Okay.
Good, very good. We're getting there. Good job, judges. Thank you.
Okay. Next image is a pet category image. Oh, excuse me, please, for just one moment.
Oh. I thought you needed to be excused. What's the name of this image?
Oh, excuse me, please, for just one moment.
Okay, in the pet category, got it.
Correct.
Yeah, Dan's going to be a voiceover actor in his next career.
Oh, perfect. I apologize. Can you repeat the name?
The
The
name.
The
Yep,
title.
it's, oh, excuse me, please, for just one moment.
Got it. Okay.
Image scores an 80.
All right, congratulations. I love this one. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Okay, let's see. I think we're up to Brady again. Brady, take it away.
I'll take excuse me, please, for just one moment. Oh my gosh. Okay, this has such great impact and storytelling. You're just right there next to a really wet, really salty little dog. And you're probably running away, screaming the other direction because he's going to get you all salty and wet too. It's really just a great, great capture. Well done. He is, as far as I can tell, super sharp, especially around the nose and the eyes and these long, wet pieces of hair. He's flipping around. I can just hear his ears flapping right now. And even his tail is fairly sharp, and then we recede into a really nice shallow depth of field, some good bokeh in the background. I love the little water and sand sprays coming off of him, shaking off his belly and extending out to the rim of this image. I think that crop choice and the movement and the flow of the water and the dynamics here are quite well done. If you took down the brightness of that bright orange and blue ball that he obviously just spit out so he could shake off this water, that was an excellent choice because that could have really distracted more than it does from his face and from the activity going on here. I think this is a really nice presentation choice with the white, the beachy white and the sand and this green, olive green that picks up the sub notes of the sand here. Those are some pretty nice choices. There's some dust spots and stuff going on here. But I definitely think that this image deserved to merit and to hang, and it was just well timed and a really affectionate capture of your dog. Congrats.
Very good. Thank you so much. That was great detail. Appreciate that. All right, where do we go from here? Oh my goodness.
Okay, back to photojournalism, and it's Leo climbing a palm tree at Crazy Canucks.
Wow. Oh,
Photojournalism.
Yes. Image scores a 78.
All right, Sandra, let's talk about Leo here.
yeah. I went a little higher than that. I was thinking this guy is doing a lot of work here. I felt it was a very interesting image. I'm thinking that, oh, I could see his other leg. I was trying to see where his other leg was. Now I see he's on the other side of the pole. I like the dynamic of it because the pole or the tree or whatever it is at an angle. So it gives you a feeling of motion here. And you can see he's climbing up there. I did feel that they might have been able to crop in a little bit from the left where that one circular dark thing shows. I don't know what it is, but my eye keeps on going and draws me away from him. Love the background. I think it's appropriate to the time period that it was taken. And there's a spot of color, or excuse me, a spot of light underneath his eye, which shows you the lighting was coming right onto his body. The image, again, I know would benefit from some kind of presentation to kind of keep you in it. But I really enjoyed it. I love his expression. I love his crazy hair. And even though we're seeing the back of his hand, that's appropriate. You wouldn't have your hand turned so that you'd fall off. So I think that has to be one of the things you have to consider when you're looking at how the hand positioning is. And appreciate again that they've shared this image with us.
All right. Thank you for that fun feedback. That was good. Thanks, Sandra. All right, let's keep going. We're on the home stretch here, Dan.
Okay, we're back to the nature landscape category. The guiding light. Image scores an 84.
All right, congratulations. And Anna, let's hear what you have to say.
I scored this image an 86. I think it is beautiful. I love the story, the serenity of it, the color combinations, harmony, the softness of the water over the rocks. Criticisms would be, or improvements, if you want to say it that way. I would tone down the brightness of the rocks in the front, in the center and towards the left, and maybe crop out a little bit of the huge dark one on the left, so that I can stay centered there in the beauty of where the light ray is coming in and touching the water and the different glowing colors of orange throughout the image. I was also looking at the presentation. I think it's perfect. And also in the top right, I would have darkened that rock a little bit. That's kind of yellowish underneath, and then just just tone it down a little bit. So a little bit of a vignetting would have helped. But I think this image really says a lot, and it's just a beautiful location, beautiful capture.
All right, thank you for all that wonderful feedback. And we'll go to the next one.
Okay, we're going to remain in nature landscape. Wearing all stripes. Image scores an 83.
All right, 83, 83, 83. So let's hear from Brady.
Hi, certainly. I was right there at 83. This image definitely is deserving of a merit. It's just a really great capture, and I don't know how you train these zebras to line up in unison like that, but good on you. Really great crop choice. I like the presentation a lot. I think the key line is appropriate in white, but could have been just a titch thinner because it is a little distracting for me, and I want to stay right here with this lineup of zebras here. Really nice depth of field choice here. These zebras are mostly sharp, although I have to say the zebra closest to on the right side, closest to us, his eye is a little softer than his friend on his right and on down the line there. And that's a little bit distracting for a lineup of three animals so close together. Gotta love the light coming through their little chin fuzz. Very sweet. There's a little bit of ghosting, looks like, in front of this last zebra on the left. I don't know if that's because you toned down the brightness behind them, or if that was a selection, but there's a little bit, it's not fringing, but it's a little ghosty in terms of the light texture just in front of his face and following along the side of the front of his nose there, which makes him look just a little bit cut out. But other than that, it's a really great crop and angle choice. The leading lines in here, and not just on the animals themselves, are just really quite well placed and thoughtful. Thanks.
All right, well, thank you. That was really neat. Okay, let's go to the next one.
We're going to stay in nature landscape. Change of season.
Change of season?
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
Oh,
Image scores an 80.
All right, Sandra, let's hear from you.
yeah, well, I debated on this one. I wanted to give it a higher score. I like the presentation a lot. But I felt like this wasn't at enough an angle for me. I wanted to see a sweep so that it was tilted more down. So almost like it would be diagonal more in this image. Not so much so that we chop off something, but I would like to see it tilted. And I've got a problem with this leaf that's on the left side. I think it's too bright. It takes my eye away. I think what the photographer is trying to get us to see is the darker yellow orange image there on the right, which would kind of key in with change of season. So taking the leaves over to the left, I think they should have been toned down. They could have been burnt out or burned down or vignetted slightly. No, I think burning would do better. And I just feel there should be a little bit more contrast in the little white flowers that are on the right and the white flower there. I like the color tone in the background. I think it really plays up everything, gives you a contrast between the greens and then that orange on thing. But you're getting a pretty heavy highlight on the tip of that orange, that unusual color there that should again have been toned down. But it's a beautiful rendition. It gives you the changing of the season idea, really nice. And I appreciate having it shared with us so we could see what it looked like and then get an idea of what we like.
All right, yes, very good. Very good attention to detail there, Sandra. Thanks for all that feedback. All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay, now we're moving on to the children category. On Our Own. Image scores an 83.
All right, congratulations. And Anna, it's black and white for you.
I love it. For a moment there, I was so worried about them, about the children. The key line is, to me, the stroke. I think it's beautiful because it really keeps us focused on the children. And as I've said before, the simplicity is just beautiful. I see, maybe there are some little clouds up there or something, just little bits, just a hint of them. But, you know, this image is so powerful, just so simple. And, you know, you look at all different crops or whatever. No, I think, you know, they're not dead center. They're a little bit to the right. You know, and I love that it's just their footsteps on the sand and the breeze, you know, blowing everything about it. I gave it an 85. I think it's powerful. And the horizon, thank you, maker. You did a great job. It's not at it's below their waist. It's not at their neckline or, you know, up. So it's just beautiful. Great job. Congratulations. Yeah, as Sandra says, thank you for sharing this one. This is beautiful.
All right, yes, beautiful. Thank you. And thank you for your feedback. Very good. All right, we've got a few left.
Okay, next image is a photojournalism image. Take 5. Image scores an 84.
All right, congratulations. And Brady, let's hear your thoughts. Brady, are you there?
Sorry, I should, yeah, unmute myself when I'm halfway through a sentence, huh? Okay, this is just beautifully handled. I'm at 82 in this image, and I could definitely go up a couple of points here for sure. It's such a great snapshot, and such a nice representation of the photojournalism genre of a rehearsal taken 5. There's great conversations going here. There's wonderful leading lines and body angles going on here. You got a bunch of different levels of kids on the floor and the girls on their feet, ready to keep going with this rehearsal. I love the inclusion of so much of the scaffolding and the lighting and the scenery, and that we are in production here. There's no doubt about what is happening, and the energy around whatever production these young people are in. I think the presentation is beautifully handled. I love the big thick black border to keep drawing our eyes into this midline of white across the girls. The highlights, by the way, I know the stage lights are screaming bright in the middle, but stage lights are supposed to be screaming bright in the middle, and the lens choice of that nice starburst pattern, and how beautifully handled the highlights are on all of these girls in screaming bright tutus with nothing blown out is just really quite well done. I'm for a photojournalism entry, I'm not finding a whole heck of a lot to change about this image. Well done.
All right, well, very good. Congratulations to our maker. Thanks for that, Brady. All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay, back to the nature landscape category. Sand viper. Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations. And Sandra, this one's for you.
I gave it an 82. I really like this one. I love the texture and seeing that eye in that little animal, whatever he is. I would have liked to have this almost in a panorama type situation. I don't think we need to have all the out of focus section above him. I would say crop it right about an inch or so above his head, because that's where the impact is. You want to go right through that to that eye. I love the slit in it. It just has a great feeling to it. I think that the presentation would have been improved a little bit more if instead of the dark black or dark brown, it was more of a beige. It wasn't quite such a big contrast, because even though it keeps you in the image, it kind of takes you away too. And the key line could have been a little narrower and maybe a little bit darker, or maybe the color of his eye. But I really like this. I really think it's got a lot of texture to it. It makes you get that feeling. And I don't mind the fact we've got the out of focus in the front. And if you crop it down, you still have the out of focus in the back. And you still have that one thin line of focus right across. It's really well done. And I always appreciate the maker giving us a look through their eyes at what they see.
Yes, for sure. Well, that eye is cool. All right, thank you for that, Sandra. And let's go to the next one.
Okay, next is an illustrative image, cloudy with a chance of rain. Image scores an 80.
All right. I've been going in an order, but black and white has to fall with Anna. There you go.
This is a very interesting image. As beautiful as parts of it are, I scored it a 79. I'm struggling with the title and too much information. And so had it been the skylight or the bridge, but I'm looking at the church and the freeway and everything. And so I'm trying to stay focused, and, sometimes too much information is, I lose the message. Because I'm looking at the city, or am I looking at the sky? But there's very little sky. And so, and then from the middle down, it's very powerful. It's very sharp. It's drawing my attention, but I'm supposed to be looking at the sky. And the beauty of the images behind those things at the ports. And so I'm lost in the image, and I apologize to the maker, because I could see the effort that you were trying to make, but it was too much information for me. I don't see a key line. I would suggest, a soft gray or something, that it doesn't blend into the image, but something that also, keeps it enclosed. And I gave it a 79. Like I said, it's got beautiful parts, but I'm struggling. Do they all fit together with the title?
I agree with you. I feel like there's two images here, and either one could do good, but the two of them together take away from each other.
All right. Thank you, judges. Thank you for that. Very interesting how it could be too. Thanks. Okay, Dan, let's go to the next one.
Okay, the next is a nature landscape image, swallowtail caterpillar.
Hmm?
Image scores an 80.
All right, congratulations. And Brady.
Okay, certainly. So I was immediately struck at the impact of the cool shapes of this flower that the caterpillar is sitting in, kind of a cup shape with these interesting and pod shapes that they have, and the color palette is really pleasing. These soft pinks and mauves behind the yellow and the greens of the bug and the flowers. So the color palette was enjoyable for sure. Where I think this image could be improved is a different presentation, maybe perhaps pull a color from the image out into your outer border and complement that with a key line. It's a little jarring in this particular soft color palette to go from that to the Polaroid white right border. That just might be a personal preference, but I'm jumping back and forth from soft and serene color palette to the bright high contrast black and white you've got going for presentation here. And Leslie, we've got some pretty flat lighting, so the daylight that's hitting the top of these flowers is a lot brighter than the caterpillar here, which I'm assuming is our subject. So they're really taking front center stage for our attention when I want to keep coming back to this critter who's got flat enough lighting on him that he's receding into second and third place for my attention. So a little bit of light on him. I know this is natural light and I know it's a bug in a garden, but some little bit of contrast and border light on him might have helped bring him into the focus that you wanted us to have him in. Thanks.
All right, and thank you. Very good. Okay, we've got a few left.
Okay. The next image is a photojournalistic image. Woman in ticket booth. Image scores a 78.
All right, Sandra, take it away.
Yeah, I debated. I wanted to give it higher. I did. I gave it an 80, but it's because I felt that is the woman in the booth. And I wanted to be able to give her that situation, though it's a very interesting graphic as you look at it, because you've got that booth blue around her, and it's quite well done, the way it's all lined up nice and straight. The thing that draws me away, though, is at the very top, the upper right-hand corner, you got this really dark area that is much darker than everything else. So it becomes a problem to me. And the other thing is, I think a presentation would have helped this, because it would have got you right in. It would be like a line, a line, and a line, because you're going to that graphic image of the lady in the center on the bottom. I like the fact that she's got her glasses that have the same blue tint that the wall is. It gives you cohesiveness. It's interesting to see through the, I guess you call that grating or whatever, it goes to the back. So evidently she's got a door in the back that she can come in, and you can see her on the other side. Now, whether she turns around and can get money from the other side as well. And it's a country fair. Everything gets pretty well exposed to you, and I don't mean what light-wise. I mean, we know what she's at. She's at the country fair. She's going to collect money, and yet she only wants credit cards. So it gives you everything to see. I really like this. It gave me a nice feeling too. So again, thank you.
All right, very good. Okay, We have a couple left here.
All right, this is the final image of the
Oh.
first round. It is a portrait image. Uncle Vito. Scores is 77.
All right, and Anna, you're up.
Well, Uncle Vito, you look like you're a fun person. Okay. This is in the portrait
Correct.
category? That's a question. Dan?
That is correct.
Okay. So this one would be more photojournalistic because in portrait, I would think that the maker would take the time for the setting, the pose, the lighting, the wardrobe, and I can imagine that Uncle Vito must be a great person, but I'm seeing trees, I'm seeing harsh shadows, I'm seeing sticks, branches behind him, something white behind his jacket is not, the pose where he's sitting, his hand is very bright. And you, as a professional photographer, one thing that is set in stone is be careful with how people sit, where their legs are, what is going to make that subject more attractive. Not necessarily in beauty or anything like this, but what is going to make them, what I'm addressing is how he's sitting. You never want anybody's crotch head-on collision, as I call it, straight to the camera. And so the pose is very critical. So I highly recommend to the maker, this is a great start. We all, been there, done this, a pose like this many times myself when I started out. In this, I only see one of Uncle Vito's arms, the other one is hidden in the back. I would, arrange the jacket so that he feels handsome and powerful, and also making sure that the lighting, what story are you trying to tell me about him? And if it's a portrait, let's do the best that we can for him, because right now that tree is too powerful, how bright it is, and it's losing my eye stain on such a handsome man. And the other thing is the brightness around the side. So look at portrait and posing and lighting, and that will truly help you. Also, the presentation, I don't see it confined in a presentation, in a border. What is your matting, what are the colors for that key line, and that will truly enhance you. So it's a good start. Like I said, many of us have started exactly as what I'm seeing in front of us. And I gave the image a 75.
All right, thank you for that, Anna. That was great. I learned a lot from Uncle Vito, so thank you. Yeah, that was really educational, so I appreciated that. Thank you. All right, Dan, do we have one more?
Nope, that's the images for the first round. What we will do
That's
now
it,
is we will
okay.
review the 79s and 78s for one more bite at the apple. And I would
Okay.
again caution the judges, if you believe it should stay where it is, give it a 79. If you have reconsidered and think that it has earned a merit, give it an 80. Thank you very much. First image. Go ahead.
Can we take a 2-minute break?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I will be.
Oh, Anna left. We could have given her a break right after this, but that's okay. We'll let Anna come back and then we'll let everybody break while the judges go and go to the breakout room.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of great feedback tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pause our recording for a minute. I think I can. Well, I'm gonna have to stop screen sharing. Let's see. Zoom.
Sorry about that. I needed that.
That's okay.
All right.
All right. So once again, we are going to review the 78s and 79s.
Okay.
I'm going to start off in the nature landscape category, leaning to the right.
And, you want me to enter the number?
79 or 80. Yep. Image stays the same. Next image is photojournalism category, Sister Maria. Image stays the same. Next image is looking for a merit photo in the photojournalism category. Image stays the same. Next image is in the nature landscape category. This Nevada slot is on fire. Image stays the same. Okay. Next one is in the photojournalism category. Kisses. Image stays the same. Next image is in the senior category, pondering the horizon. Image stays the same. Next one is in the photojournalism category, ukulele tribute to the ancient one. Image stays the same. Next image is in the photojournalism category, Trapani, Sicily. Image stays the same. Next image is in the nature landscape category, wild flowers. Image stays the same. Next one is in the illustrative category, angels in Rome. Image stays the same. Next is in the nature landscape category, after the rain. Image stays the same. Next one is in the senior category, elegant maestro. Image stays the same. Next one's in the nature landscape category, sunburst through a dragon tree. Image stays the same. Next one is in the senior category, Midsummer's Afternoon. Image stays the same. And the final review, I'm sorry, no, there's one more after this. The next one is in the photojournalism category, Leo climbing a palm tree at Crazy Canucks. Image stays the same. And then Woman in Ticket Booth. Image stays the same. So that concludes the beginning portion of our image competition. We will now take a break as
Sorry we took so long. It's your fault for doing such beautiful work.
Yeah, all your fault.
It's
That's
all your
actually pretty
fault.
quick compared with sometimes
All right,
encounter.
we're recording
did well.
and we are ready. All right, Dan.
All right. Well, this has been quite an evening. Let me make sure I have these straight as I get through this. So we're going to go in alphabetical order by category. Best in children this evening, if I can find it. I know it's here somewhere. Is Levitate. Can everybody see that? By Michelle Pennings.
Ah,
Oh,
wow. Beautiful.
yeah.
Thank you.
I love it.
Very fun. Thanks, judges. Good feedback. It's really good.
Okay. Best in digital artistry, which was the only image in digital artistry, was, where's it at? The Swimmer
Okay.
Yay!
by Michelle Pennings.
Okay.
Yay!
Thank you so much. Yeah, that
Is
one
it on the
was
screen?
Oh, there
There
it
it
is.
is.
Yeah.
Yay.
Tough one.
How many years have you been working on that one?
I worked on it a long time.
Wow.
That was for one of the, yeah, Izzy she's swimming now in South Dakota, but yeah, that was a fun one to do.
Wow.
Lots of water dropping.
Wow.
Thank you,
All right.
judges.
Wow.
Best in illustrative is Iris by Rachel Blazer.
Yeah, that was
Beautiful.
Ah, congratulations, Rachel.
We all loved it.
Yay. Thank you.
And it seems to be really slow to come up on the screen.
Wow. I'm waiting
it
for
was
it.
beautiful.
Yeah, we can see it on the main screen, just not
Can
on the
you?
Zoom screen. Yeah,
Okay.
but not on the Zoom one.
Gotcha. All right.
Oh,
The
Not coming up
Yeah,
on
it's
my
still not
top
up.
ones.
yeah, it's still not up on Zoom.
Come on, Zoom. I know you can
There
do
it
it.
goes.
Ah, there you go.
Just as I was about to give up.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
All right.
Really pretty.
Best in nature landscape category is The Guiding Light.
Lovely.
Yeah, beautiful.
Really pretty.
Who's that, Dan?
Who?
What's that?
Who?
Who's that?
Yours truly.
Oh,
Yay.
yay. Done. Nice.
Oh, lovely. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Yeah, beautiful. You trained that light really well.
I'm
Yeah.
dying to go there. I see so many of these and it's like, I have to get there.
Me
was a fun
too.
hike.
Zion? Is that Zion?
That's Canaraville Falls, which is close to Zion, but it's on the other side.
Okay.
Is it very claustrophobic?
No, it's not. It's not
No.
claustrophobic at all, but it's just off the 15 when you go
Okay.
go north of Vegas. It's pretty nice.
Okay.
Best in the pet category
Oh,
is Oh, excuse me for just one moment by Diana Elledge.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Oh, Diana, yay.
Good job, Diana. Yay.
And I
Is she
don't recall seeing her logged on this evening.
Yeah, I don't either, but good for her.
here? Will it pop up down in the,
It should.
there
There
you
it
go.
goes.
oh. I just love it.
Yeah. Capturing it so it wasn't blurry. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's what shocked me.
Good job.
The best in photojournalism is Take 5
Yay.
by Jennifer Curry Wingrove.
Oh,
Yay.
beautiful.
Nicely done.
Thank
So
you.
good.
Okay. The
Ah.
best in portrait is Under the Roman Arches by Jennifer Curry Wingrove.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yay.
I
Thank
love
you.
the color. I love the
Yes.
skin tones in this.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
That is the hardest thing for me, skin tones. Oh my gosh. I'm
Beautiful.
getting better.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Good job.
Precious girl. Precious.
Oh gosh, she's
And
amazing.
then the final category for the evening is Best in Senior. And that is, again, if I can find it, Underwater Garden Fantasy by
Oh.
Michelle Pennings.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
Ooh, yay.
Beautiful.
Ew.
Absolutely.
Did you really put all that stuff in your pool?
Yep, that was completely underwater, almost like a single capture. I didn't really Photoshop it a whole lot.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then
Awesome.
of those 8, the judges unanimously chose, if I can get this one to come up on Zoom so that it goes into our
Oh, yeah. It has,
video.
yeah, it hasn't come up yet.
Jeez, that's taking forever.
Da-da-da-da, da.
Da-da-da-da.
You can do it. You can do it.
I don't know what the deal is there.
We get it?
It's at a snail pace.
Gosh.
Come on.
Anticipation.
How funny. The name is up, but not the image.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
saw that.
name is up. The image still hasn't
Yeah,
come up.
that's
I
weird.
don't know what that's all about.
Oh, yeah.
Here, let me see. Maybe if I do that.
Oh,
There.
there you go.
There it goes.
What'd you do?
Okay. I stopped my video.
Oh,
Oh.
So that
Yeah.
must have been causing a problem. Okay, so the best in show for this evening, taken from the best in category winners, the 8 best in category winners, is Take 5
Oh,
by Jennifer Curry Wingrove.
goodness.
Oh, wow. Yay.
Wow, what a surprise,
really
actually.
enjoyed
Thank
that.
you.
really
Jennifer,
good.
tell us about it.
Congratulations.
Tell
That,
us about it.
yeah,
Well done,
so
Jen.
hold on, I'm like trying to get my video. There we go. Yeah, so I just decided they were rehearsing and I have a lot of rehearsal shots actually from backstage, which from the back of the stage looking front, because I think that's such a interesting perspective that people don't get to see. But this was literally like a take 5 while the directors were doing things, and I just started shooting thinking it was a very interesting story. This is actually in Italy.
Wow.
This is in Genova. Yeah. So they were rehearsing for a big show that they were going to do in Nervi Festival, dance festival. So yeah, and I mean just all the tutus, like it's crazy. It's crazy how many dancers were on that. You can't even see all the dancers on that stage. Like there's so many of them.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was really happy with the way that turned out, and thank you so much. I'm glad
It's
you
so
appreciate it.
I called it the hidden leading lines.
Oh,
Loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, we
love
we
it.
all enjoyed it. We all enjoyed it.
Very
oh, thank you, judges. And judges, you were so amazing tonight. Thank you. I learned so much tonight. Like it was crazy. Like it was a boot camp. It was great. Thank you.
cool, cool. And this is the black that I just love, that makes everything pop. And
Yep.
it's great. The contrast, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Yay. Thank you.
Job, Jennifer. Way
That's
to
a good
go.
Thank you.
Woo, Thank you, everybody. Very good. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing.